Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Physics Infinity. Today we will study the gradient of a scalar field. अब gradient of a scalar field क्या होता है, उसके लिए हमें एक scalar field assume करना पड़ेगा और scalar function assume करना पड़ेगा. So let us assume that phi r be our scalar field, where r is the position vector of point A, x, y, z जिसके coordinates हैं. This is our point A and this r vector is defined in Cartesian coordinates as xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap. This is a Cartesian coordinate system x, y and z. Now this phi r, which is a scalar function, can be written as phi of x comma y comma z. This is the same thing. Now any change in the value of this scalar function phi r corresponding to the displacement dr will depend on the direction of the displacement. इसका क्या मतलब है कि अगर हम इस phi r में कोई भी चेंज करेंगे corresponding to a displacement dr, then that change will depend on the direction of displacement. Also, whenever we have a function of more than one variable, इसका मतलब जब हमारे पास एक से ज़्यादा वेरिएबल को कोई भी फंक्शन होता है, फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे पास यहाँ पर है कि x, y, z तीन वेरिएबल्स का फंक्शन है phi, तो we can define the partial derivative of that function with respect to one of these variables. यानी कि हम इस phi का partial derivative निकाल सकते हैं इनमें से किसी भी वेरिएबल के रिस्पेक्ट में. जैसे here we have a phi function of x comma y comma z. Therefore curly phi by curly x is the rate of change of phi along x direction. Similarly curly phi by curly y, this is the rate of change of phi along y direction. And similarly curly phi by curly z, this is the rate of change of phi along z direction. Now to find out the gradient, let us consider a displacement dr from this point A to point B. The coordinates of point A x comma y comma z here, and the coordinates of point B x plus dx, y plus dy and z plus dz. Now this phi will undergo a change d phi. Now we have vector r is equal to xi plus yj plus zk here. Therefore dr, the displacement, is equal to dxi plus dyj plus dzk. Now d phi will be equal to curly phi by curly x dx, and the partial derivative of phi with respect to x dx plus partial derivative of phi with respect to y into dy plus partial derivative of phi with respect to z into dz. That is curly phi by curly x dx plus curly phi by curly y dy plus curly phi by curly z dz. This can be written as curly phi by curly x I cap plus curly phi by curly y j cap plus curly phi by curly z k cap dot, this is the dot product, dxi plus dyz j plus dz k. Now this dxi plus dyj plus dz k, this is equal to our dr displacement vector. Here we have dr vector and this can be written as it is. Now we can take out phi outside the bracket as we have done here. Curly by curly x I cap plus curly by curly y j cap plus curly by curly z k cap of phi dot product with dr vector. Now this thing can be written as del. This is called del vector or Nabla operator. So this can be written equal to del of phi plus dr. This is a d phi. Therefore d phi is equal to del phi dot dr. Here this del curly by curly x I cap plus curly by curly y j cap plus curly by curly z k cap, this is called the del vector or the Nabla operator, and it is a vector differential operator. Okay. Now we have here del phi is equal to curly by curly x I cap plus curly by curly y j cap plus curly by curly z k cap of phi. This is called the gradient of this scalar function phi. This can be written as del phi or gradient phi, grade phi. Okay. Therefore we get d phi is equal to gradient of phi dot dr vector. Now what is its physical significance? तो इसकी physical significance देखने के लिए again we have the phi scalar function and let us assume that theta be an angle between gradient of phi and the displacement vector dr here. Now we have already find out that d phi is equal to del of phi dot dr. This dot product can be opened like modulus value of del phi into modulus value of this dr displacement vector into cos theta, where theta is the angle between these two vectors del phi and dr vector. Now this dr modulus value is equal to dr. Now the rate of change of function phi with respect to distance in any of the direction is given as d phi by dr. Therefore this dr can be taken in this side and we get d phi by dr is equal to del phi modulus value into cos theta. और इसे हम कैसे लिख सकते हैं, एक यूनिट वेक्टर के साथ, del phi vector dot n cap vector, where this n cap vector it is the unit vector along this dr vector direction. Now we get d phi by dr is equal to del phi dot n cap vector. Now we have two cases. The first one is that if our n vector is parallel to del phi, इसका मतलब है अगर हमारा n वेक्टर जो कि dr वेक्टर की डायरेक्शन में वो del phi की डायरेक्शन में, that is a displacement and a gradient of phi are in the same direction, then एंगल क्या हो जाएगा, ज़ीरो, क्योंकि सेम डायरेक्शन है, पैरेलल है, तो एंगल ज़ीरो, तो cos थीटा इज इक्वल टू 1, cos थीटा इज इक्वल टू 1, दैट मीन्स d phi by dr इज इक्वल टू del of phi magnitude value. This is the maximum value of this d phi upon dr, and the maximum value is equal to the modulus value of the gradient phi. Okay, इसका मतलब है the gradient of a scalar function, here the gradient of a scalar function phi is defined as the vector field having a magnitude equal to the maximum space rate of change of phi and having a direction identical, that is parallel with the direction of displacement along which the rate of change is maximum. और यही हमने यहाँ पर देखा है कि अगर डिस्प्लेसमेंट की डायरेक्शन ग्रेडियंट फाई की डायरेक्शन के इक्वल हो तो ग्रेडियंट फाई क्या होगा, एक ऐसा वेक्टर है जहाँ पर जिसका मैग्नीट्यूड मैक्सिमम वैल्यू देता है स्पेस रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ फाई. ओके, द सेकेंड केस इज इफ वी मूव अलोंग द डायरेक्शन नॉर्मल टू del phi, इसका दैट इज the displacement vector is perpendicular to the del phi vector, then theta will be equal to 90 degree and cos theta will be equal to 0. Therefore this d phi will be equal to 0. That means there is no change in phi, or we can say that phi is a constant function which defines a level surface. Okay, hence this del phi is a vector normal to the level surface. This is the second thing that we get from the gradient of the scalar function. Example of a gradient function is a electric field vector. This electric field vector is equal to the negative of gradient of V, that is potential. Now what is its importance? Importance क्या है gradient of a scalar function की? The first importance is that the line integral of a gradient of a scalar function say phi is independent of the path joining the endpoints say A and B and depends only on the values of the function at the endpoints. Say we have to move from this point A to this point B and this, therefore this is a displacement vector direction. अब displacement gradient की significance क्या है, इसकी importance क्या है कि अगर हम यहाँ पर किसी भी scalar function phi का, अगर हमारे पास कोई भी स्केलर फंक्शन फाई है और उसका हमारे पास ग्रेडियंट है हमारे वेक्टर के फॉर्म में, देन उसका लाइन इंटीग्रल फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट ए टू दिस पॉइंट बी विल डिपेंड्स ओनली ऑन द वैल्यूज ऑफ द फंक्शन एट दिस पॉइंट्स ए एंड बी एंड नॉट डिपेंड अपॉन दिस पाथ. ओके, नाउ वी विल प्रूव दिस. लेट ए वेक्टर इज इक्वल टू ग्रेडियंट ऑफ फाई. Now we know d phi is equal to gradient of phi dot dr vector. This gradient of phi is equal to our a vector, that is we can write a vector dot dr vector, or a vector dot dr vector is equal to d phi. Now integrate both sides between these limits a to b. We get integration a to b, a dot dr vector is equal to integration a to b d phi. and integration of d phi will be equal to phi between the limits a to b, and we get phi of b minus phi of a. That is, this line integral of this gradient of a scalar function a vector depends only on the value of phi at position b and at point a, and it does not depend upon the path followed. Hence our theorem is proved. The second thing, or the second importance of the gradient, is that the line integral of this a vector, again the gradient of phi, over a closed path is 0. That is, say we have a closed path between these points a and b. This is our first path and this is our second path, जिसके साथ हमारा पाथ क्या हो जाता है, क्लोज हो जाता है. तो अगर हम ए वेक्टर का लाइन इंटीग्रल निकालेंगे तो वो किसके इक्वल होना चाहिए, 0 के इक्वल होना चाहिए. प्रूव करते हैं इसे. लाइन इंटीग्रल ओवर द क्लोज्ड पाथ इस वेक्टर का क्या होगा, इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ ए डॉट डी आर ओवर द क्लोज्ड पाथ. दिस सर्कल डिफाइंस द क्लोज्ड पाथ इंटीग्रेशन. Now that will be equal to integration of again a dot dr over path 1 plus integration of a dot dr over path 2. So path 1 the limits will be a to b, and for path 2 the limits will be b to a, initial to final limits. So we do the integration here. A is equal to gradient of phi means del phi dot dr vector, that is equal to d phi. Therefore we get from here integration a to b, a dot dr vector is equal to integration a to b d phi. Similarly integration b to a dot dr is equal to integration b to a d phi. On integration of d phi is phi, limits a to b, putting the values phi of b minus phi of a, plus here again integration of d phi, or integration of 1 with respect to phi is equal to phi between the limits b to a. Using the limits here, phi b minus phi a, we get phi a cancels out phi a and phi b cancels out phi b, that is equal to 0. This is the closed path integration of this a vector, and that is equal to what, 0. Hence again our theorem is proved. So this is the importance of the gradient of the scalar field. The first one is that the line integral of the gradient of a scalar function phi is independent of the path and depends only on the values of the function at that endpoints. And the second one is that the line integral of the scalar of a vector, or the gradient of a scalar function, is 0 over a closed path. So these are the importance of the gradient of a scalar function. The next thing is that what is this a vector called? This a vector, that is equal to gradient of y, this is called the scalar potential field, or we can say the lamellar vector field, or the conservative vector field, or the norm-curl, or an irrotational field. These are the various names of gradient of a scalar function. Okay, thank you for watching my videos. Keep watching.